Hey guys, it's Sean and your boy here. What's up? So today's going to be another different video about fanfiction and how you guys can get into it, and my tips on when you're writing on fanfiction.net or even any other fanfiction site. Step 1. Choosing a category and making your concept. So when you're going to choose a category, for example, let's use fanfiction.net. That's the site where I started and I still would use today. So what is your passion? What do you like? What is your favourite game? What is your favourite TV? Ever had any thoughts of how you wanted to change the ending of Breaking Bad? Did you want something to happen? Do you make an original character? Should Walter White be good? These are considerations that you should think, like, do you want to make a Kingdom Hearts fanfiction? And so on. And then when you do finally think of what you want to choose, you have to take in consideration of what is your concept going to be. And when I say I don't think you should take too much time thinking about it, and what I mean is that just go with the basic things. Let's say I'm going to make a Kingdom Hearts fanfiction. I want to make an original character about, let's say, he was in the Keyblade Wars, something like that. It's original. Then you're starting to go into your very own stuff. You may not have Sora in it, you may reference them or not, and it can really depend on what the reader's going to like. And then step 2, never think big. And so what I mean about never think big is that you have this idea in your head, and you know how it's going to start, and you know how it's going to finish. These characters are going to do this, these characters are going to do that, everyone's going to like my idea. No, that is not the way to think. The best way to think is start with small baby steps. Never think, oh, I'm going to make about 50 chapters or something like that. That's really ridiculous. You really don't have an idea for about 50 chapters from your first chapter. I mean, it can bomb. It can really bomb. Like, if you make simple elements, just try and think maybe at least 1 to 5 or 1 to 10 chapters. And if it gets big enough with enough support and reviews, followers and favourites, and if you look on your site how many hits you're getting from each country in a month and which story you have, then you can start considering, my story is getting a bit more popular now. Maybe I'll extend it a little bit more. I really need to learn how to hit the pause button. Okay, so step 3, reviews and improvements. So reviews are the most important thing. It's a very good motivational thing. If you get good reviews, you just want to keep on going and make them happy. But you will also get a lot of criticism. A lot of it, especially if it's like guest reviews, they'll just say, oh, it's bad, and give no reason. Yeah, that thing kind of sucks. But you gotta think, well, there's something wrong. Why would he say that? Is he just trolling? It could be. But you can never say, oh, my story is perfect. Your story is never perfect. There is always something you can improve upon, and you'll never be able to overcome your problems. They can just, for each fix you make, there can always be more problems as you go ahead. But that's just the thing about writing. It's about learning, taking the feedback, listen to people. Is there something wrong with your spelling? Is there something wrong with your characters? They're like, oh, are they out of character? Unless you're going to say, yes, they're intentionally out of character, or, I don't think these characters would react like that. I think this is too much, your paragraphs are wrong. Things to consider. I mean, don't always listen to reviews. I have, because they've helped me a lot to improve my character, like Joseph Brooklyn. At a time, he was a very Mary Stu or Gary Stu character. If it wasn't for the fans saying that, he has no flaws. And it was then until I thought, you know what, I'm going to decide to give him more flaws as I go along. Because if I didn't, people have just turned away from my story. So you can't always blindside, what people are saying. But it's always good to keep your idea ahead. Maybe make a few changes as you go along. Which also, just goes up to part 4, considerations. Okay, so let's say your story is a moderate success or is a big success. Where do you go from here? Because you could have planned, or you could have suddenly got a massive boom in your story, and you could potentially go to the next 50 chapters you planned, or if you started small, from 1 to 5, 1 to 10 chapters, and you could think, well, maybe it's time for me to put 10 more chapters, and we'll see how it goes with my other idea to extend a story. And in my opinion, the best way to write it down, even if you have it all in your head, it's always good to put it on a piece of paper. It can really, because if you ever forget, or if you want to change something down the line, you could easily forget or even mess up your own continuity if that's the kind of story you're looking for. I mean, my friend, who absolutely doesn't like My Little Pony, he makes fun of me every second he can, the chance he gets. But he actually started to help me. He gave me like a plan, what I call a long-term economic plan. Fucking David Cameron. And as I was making my story, I actually started to change some ideas. Like, I actually planned, this is spoilers by the way for my fanfiction, a character called Shadowbreeze. He was actually supposed to, be along with my main character, Joseph Brooklyn, even Spike. But I thought, no, that isn't the way. If I had to do that, then it would change the whole thing. Basically, I'd have to rewrite it around this original character, and I did it because this is my best friend. And I thought, he's been my best friend for ages, I'm going to put his original character in. And this got a lot of fans asking me to put their OC in the story. And if you do like putting OCs in your story, just always think to yourself, never put too many in. This is your story. This isn't a OC request. This is a story you want to tell. Unless these characters have anything add to the story, you gotta think, okay, I'm gonna rewrite this around this character. Just don't. If you're ever going to put an OC in, the best thing to do is just put him as a minor character. Like, he'll sell you something in the shop, or it's a guy say, oh, you'll say hi to. That kind of thing. And so we're going to go to the final part of this. It is step 5. Find your passion. Now this, for me, is very important. Finding the passion to keep writing, to keep yourself interested in writing a story. Because when it all comes, everything I said, the reviews, the hits, the favourites, if it comes coming in, you do get that passion. But if because I've even seen people who've written really good stories like in Kingdom Hearts. The thing is that there are so many in Kingdom Hearts. And you do have to take big considerations. I should have said this in the last part, but I'm just too lazy to say that. Is if you don't know what kind of market, as I say, you're getting into, you're going to be lost in the fray. Or And if you don't get that reviews, those followers coming in, what are people saying about, what can I improve? If they're not saying anything, it can really demotivate you. Or if you start getting criticism, and if you really can't take criticism, it can really seriously stop your motivation to write. It has done that to me in the past, but it's this story, what I've created, means a lot to me. And the first time I've actually gotten so many reviews, so much appreciation, so much hate, and I've done really stupid things I'm not proud of. But that's like these 5 years of making a story is an adventure, heartbreak, and just, well, what kept me going is everyone who supported me. I made promise to finish it, and I did. I loved the story I made. I was passionate about it. I am not going to be ignorant about saying my story is not perfect. It never will be. And even if at the very end, when I started having my year hiatus, when I had lost some demotivation, even though I was not getting the reviews as I used to when I had my hiatus, I still want to continue it. It was something I started, and it's something I had to finish. If you guys are ever going to do that, that's something to consider. Passion really can help you. Sometimes it can't. Or you just might want to go to the next thing. That's also another thing. Don't ever make too many stories. This is what I learned from Tight Kubo. Why he always focused on Bleach, and whenever in an interview, an interviewer said to him, "Have you got any other ideas?" And he said, "I don't have any other ideas. If I think of other idea, I'll start to neglect Bleach." And so he'll do something else to distract him. So never make multiple fan fictions, because you're going to lose your motivation for all those stories, and it won't work out for you. And so there you have it. I'm really sorry this is a long video. Just if you don't like it, just put a thumbs down, or if you liked it, thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And I hope this has in some way helped you guys wanting to write or improve. I don't think this is a really good video, honestly. I just want to get my thoughts out there if anyone wants to write, because I think people should start to write. It can really express yourself, and it can change you. It can make you have new friends, and improve your writing. It could also help you potentially get a job. Well, it didn't help me, in fact. So anyway, that's it, and I hope to see you again soon. And this video was definitely not sponsored by Pepsi.